married my sister, now we're living together.
Roommates in law. One of our best, I would
I
say.
think that was good. I was trying to go deep. I'm trying to be a little manlier lately.
Trying to hit that bear tone.
Baritone, dude. Rawr.
Rawr, don't do that anymore.
It's what was I thinking
just
of?
not with the claw.
What was I thinking? Oh no, that's from Workaholics. Looking straight grizzly.
Looking straight grizzly. Man, that show really was something.
They were having some real fun.
I mean, those scientists need to check their hypotenuses, dude. It's just a great line,
Oh,
Tom.
I'm puking right now. Oh, I'm barfing right now.
I'm puking. I'm puking
barfing
right now. It's just really, really funny. Let's see, Tom. We're not even fucking roommates, dude.
We're not even close to being in-laws.
However,
we are good friends. I would hope
friends.
that we're not close to being in-laws. Like,
I don't know. I've got some DMs out there. I'm working on it.
To my sisters?
Yeah.
What the hell, dude?
I'm getting left on red quite a bit, though.
Shout out to the sisters. That's a good move. That's a smart decision.
I've gotten.
Tim's engaged to a lovely woman, so don't ruin his life, please.
I've gotten 3 thumbs downs, a question mark, and then 2 left on red.
Okay. Have you tried my brother yet? Because
that's kind of my last hope. But I'm not really an outdoorsy kind of. I want I'm more of a city boy. You know what I mean?
Well, but here's the thing: is he can be the outdoorsy guy, and then you can stay at home and watch the kids. He can be the baritone, and you're the little cub.
I'll be the soprano.
I was thinking with the animal analogy.
The bear, and then I'm the cub tone.
The Caprano.
Caprano.
I got
I don't know. All right, we're off to a slow start. But I don't know. Maybe he could go out and gather the wood, and then kill the whatevers. Then I just get the berries. It's classic hunter-gatherer situation.
There we go. And then his wife and your fiance, they can link up.
Yeah, and
so
then probably
no one's
would live would live a much fuller life.
Just staring off into the abyss. Yeah, she'd be better off with a woman she's never met.
Oh, the evil you don't know is better than the evil you know, Tom. Isn't that classic saying?
I thought that was. Did you purposely mess it up? Was that a?
I sure did, Tom. I was heading right into the city with that one.
Sorry, I just woke up like 2 hours ago, so
just drove right into the dang city. Wait, 2 hours ago, so it's 12. Because you're back. You're LA, Tom. That's the classic LA studio.
Yeah, it's 11:30 here.
11:30. So you hit the 9:30.
Actually, I woke up at 9 today.
That's not bad.
That's pretty good for me.
That's not bad. I'm in sunny Chicago, Illinois right now. Just
what's the temp looking like there, Tim? Not to just kick this off talking about the weather.
Talking about the weather, but well, it was kind of nice earlier. It got a little chilly. I was by the pool, and then when the sun goes behind the cloud and it like cools off, it drops like instantly 10 degrees.
Yeah.
I was by the pool, and then it just goes right behind this big fucking cloud, and it really fell off the cliff. So right now, it's 19.
Oh, so you were hitting the pool at about 30.
Yeah, it was like 30, 32, and I was catching some really decent waves. Yeah. No, rays. Yeah, no, you're right.
I was like, it was a wave pool? Where are you staying?
Damn, were we catching radio waves? That doesn't sound healthy.
Where are you?
Sunbathing over in Chernobyl. I'm right off of Belmont. Obviously, can't say the hotel that I'm in. Tom, Jesus.
Yeah, so I keep forgetting people keep following you around.
You're like, hey, just blast out your location for all these weirdos to come bang on your door. No thanks, Tom.
No, thank you.
But yeah, Chicago is. I don't know how we ever did this, honestly, Tom.
It's just the cold. I love this.
Oh, well, you're a Minnesota kid. I forget about that. Yeah, but like I got off the plane and I'm you got to walk to your little oops magoobs. And at Chicago, you got to go outside to go walk. You got to make that turn. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
So, I mean, you're out there for 4 minutes. I'm just dying. I just hate it. It was 4 degrees last night. I'm like, I don't know how I did this for 6 years.
Yeah, we were doing the thing. Like I walked maybe like 6 blocks this weekend, and because we couldn't get Greg's car door to open, it was frozen shut. Like the locking mechanism had frozen, not just the actual door. The electronics had said no thanks. We're gonna hibernate for a little
Yeah,
while.
Toyota Corolla was also like, I don't know how I'm doing this. This take me anywhere else, Gregory. I
Why?
hate it.
I'm not even made for the snow. You're
I
gonna
don't.
crash.
I don't like
So
it.
it shut down, so we had to walk to the grocery store because we were making a little chili, a little team chili at the house.
Sure, sure.
And my I started getting like I could feel the snot on the inside of my nose freeze because it was like negative. I think it was felt like negative 14 or something like that. And it was like I was like, oh, this is this is dangerous to be outside. I didn't.
I mean, so
bring
this how much heat was this chili? It must have been a real banger of a chili sesh for you guys to risk your lives to get the ingredients.
Well, here's what I love. Here's why I love the cold weather, Tim. Can I tell you why?
I would. This is the perfect setting, honestly.
It unites. You're like, you have me hostage for an hour, so you can tell me anything. It's the perfect. It creates a beautiful thing where like you bond together in cheesy ways that you never would. Like, you know, I was there featuring for our good friend Laura Peak at Zany's,
LP.
and then did a bunch of shows at like the Laugh Factory, and all the shows like were fun, but like it had like an electric energy because it's blizzarding and -5 outside. So if everyone makes it to a location, like everyone's on board to like kind of be goofy and have a great night.
Well,
And
you're also
this-
kind of looking around at everybody else in there, like, we did it.
yeah, exactly. It's like
Like you did it too, huh? Nice. It's like a little bit of everyone has like it's like a joint respect everybody has for everybody else.
Yeah, because we all just beat the same common enemy.
Right. Because if it's good weather, you're kind of like, all right, hack. You wouldn't have been here if it was 8 degrees.
Yeah, cool. Shorts. Nice.
Oh, okay. Oh, you come out when the weather's beautiful? Neat. What an interesting thing about you.
That would be an amazing Chicago character. Just a guy who hates everyone who's out in the summer, but respects everyone who's out in the winter.
And you better believe he's wearing shorts in the wintertime because his legs don't get cold, Tom. He doesn't know why. His legs just don't get that cold.
The shorts in the winter, they get cold. You're just being a dick.
It's a weird thing to like hang on to. This is like Bill Burr has a bit about this, but it is.
Oh,
I remember seeing that when I lived in New York as a kid. There was this, what was his last name? It was something really Polish, something Szyszowski. And he would always be the shorts guy. And I never understood. I'm like, but there's snow. Like, I might be able to give it to you if you're like, I don't know, the wind just doesn't like fuck with me that much. But like, you're stomping through snow.
Yeah. Yeah. And what is the upside?
None.
Yeah.
You just get to be like, right?
Yeah, shorts. I don't even care.
I don't give a shit anymore, dude. I'm in 6th grade.
I don't. I'm so in 6th grade right now, and I'm still wearing shorts. Just not because you're also like that's too young to be like, yeah, I'm not really a pants guy. Like pants look weird on me.
Yeah, I can't really find pants that fit my thighs. You don't have any of those complaints yet. I look goofy in khakis. Like, no, you're in 6th grade, and everything fits. Idiot. I wonder how he's doing.
Yeah,
he's probably dead.
He's probably he died from frostbite. He got his legs.
His legs got gnawed off by some wolf when he passed out in the woods.
Not only is he not wearing pants, but he's exclusively walking deep in the woods. So my point being is it really unites people in a fun way. And then me and our dear friend Greg Kennedy, whose house I was staying at, and our friend Lucia, we were like, we were all hanging out at a show, and then it was like, she was like, well, I can't do anything tomorrow. Like, what are you guys going to be doing? And we were like, we'll probably like watch Lord of the Rings all day and hunker down. And she's like, I have this bison. You guys want to make like chili or something? And then it's like,
how did she get bison?
I don't know. Here's a thing. She goes, it's local bison.
No, it's not.
In Chicago?
Bison don't roam in Chicago.
She said there's a huge bison herd in like an hour and a half outside Chicago.
Roaming down Belmont? You're like,
Illinois.
Shit. Sorry I'm late, dude. Whole bunch of bison clogging up over on Belmont.
Well, that was the thing. We hid it in Greg's Toyota Corolla, and then my brother came by, harvested it for us. And
that's why the Corolla was fucked up. Corolla versus bison. I'm going bison on that one.
Taking bison 10 out of 10 times.
For sure. That's a big animal. Wait, so of course Lucia knows where the bison. I thought bison had to like roam. Isn't that what the like
give me
Native
a home
Americans?
where the buffaloes roam.
Right.
And the antelope play.
Here's a no. I'm not even gonna ask that. A buffalo and a bison, same thing, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna live in that truth for now.
I mean, it seems. I'm sure there might, if there is a difference, I'm sure it's like, well, actually, this one's fingernails grow in a different way, but like they're the same.
Hey Tim, what did the Buffalo say when his son went off to college?
Bye, son.
Yes.
Let's go, dude. Oh, you didn't think I read all the jokes on the back of the Laffy Taffy when I was a kid? Come on, Tom.
I'm opening on that tonight.
Where do you think I got these genius riffs?
But yeah, so it was fun. We hunkered down, made some chili. It was pretty incredible chili, and then I got my ass out of Chicago. Kind of. I struggled to leave.
Yeah, I mean, why? Just because it was cold, or you're gonna miss it?
This is one of the worst days in recent memory for old Tom. So,
I do. I was getting several texts this day. Lizzie was going, "What is going on?" I was like, "Tom's going through it right now." Tom's having a tough day.
So I had like the best weekend of my life in Chicago. It was so much fun. I postponed Sober Jan till today.
Sure.
So we're gonna put in about half the month into the half of February,
which we talked about. I don't know if we talked about it on the PAD, but like, Tom, it's 4 degrees. You're with a good pal hitting the feach button. Just a complete. There's no stakes involved for you. It's only fun for Tom. You're in Chicago. Some would call it a drinking town. It's free bevies as far as the eye can see. Let's just not set ourselves up for failure here.
Yeah.
You're going to have a beverage or two when you're in Chicago.
It was so funny because like we get there and it's like, we were both, me and Peak were both like, we should do Sober Jan starting today. And then it's like, we get there and there's a blizzard coming in. Like that's the first thing everyone told us when we got to the club. I made it all the way to Zany's saying no. First thing I ordered was just a club soda with lime. And then the
bartender just kind of winked at you. Sure, bud. Yeah.
Dude, it was.
You'll be back.
It was Charlie, and he was like, all right.
Okay. Yeah, I'll see you in 5 minutes, though. Yeah, keep lying to yourself, Tom.
All it took was like 4 people mentioning that there was a blizzard coming. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna have one.
He could probably sense it in your order, too. You're like, can I just a soda and lime? And he's like, well,
soda, hold the gin.
Okay, Tom. Yep. Just whenever you're ready, though, pal. All this alcohol.
He already had one made. But it was a great time and truly had a blast. Sunday got to go do both the shows at the Laugh Factory. It was flying out at 6 a.m. Monday with the weather and everything. It's like, all right, I'm looking like I've got to leave at around 3:45 to get to the port. And did the
3:45 P?
A. Yeah.
3:45 A.
So, and me and Greg have been hanging out every night. Been almost hitting those numbers anyways. And I've been sleeping till 11. So then it's like, all right, I could probably just stay up. Greg's like, yeah, I'll stay up too. We shut down the Laugh Factory, hung there for a bit, got back. We're hanging out. I'm like texting people that are on the East Coast. I'm like, yeah, I'm leaving for the airport and like, or West Coast. I'm leaving for the airport in like 20 minutes. This is about 3:30. About to call an Uber. Sitting on the couch. I look down. I open my eyes.
Pretty electric text conversation you're sending out to the West Coast.
I was talking to someone and they were like, where are you? I'm like, I'm about to leave Chicago.
Hey, it's Tom.
This is the only reason I have a timestamp on it.
Heading on over to the airport here pretty soon. Great. Thanks, Tom.
Just say, anyways, hope you're well.
I just want to let you know I'm going to the airport.
And then I opened my eyes and it was 6:45. And I had just slept sleeping on the couch for 3 hours.
Here's my big fat cue. Did you just happen to fall asleep, or did you think I'm gonna close my eyes for a minute and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna head?
Nope.
The body shut down.
I mean, the Uber was pulled up. I just hadn't actually hit confirm yet. I had all my shit.
Experts might call that passing out.
Sitting there, and then
where was Greg?
It's sleeping on the other couch.
Oh boy,
6 feet from me. He had fallen asleep.
Oh boy.
But I was like, it's so funny because I didn't do the panic thing. I opened my eyes and I just knew.
Sure, of course.
And I looked down. I go, Greg, I missed my flight. And then he panicked. He jumps off the couch and he's like, really? I was like, yeah, dude. Like, we didn't.
Greg,
I didn't
Greg,
even
there's
get
no way
close.
you can fix any of this.
Yeah.
It's fine. Greg's on the horn with Delta. My buddy Tom was supposed to be there.
He's got to get back. So now I'm like, all right, let me look at other flights. And then like every other flight out of Chicago is delayed. So I just head to the airport like an hour later. And because there's like a few flights, and now I've got some status on Delta, so I'm like, I can. They do actually. They are straight up classist. They help you way more if.
Well, sure, you spend enough money.
Yeah,
they help out those people.
And so I get on one, connecting through Minneapolis. We get on the plane. We're sitting there for a long time, and they go, the fuel line's frozen. This is your captain speaking. The fuel line is frozen. We don't want to be in the air and then not have fuel, because that's going to be that's an issue. Some difficulties. So then we're there. We got a maintenance crew on board. I'm looking at my connection. And I'm like, all right, I'm getting close. I'm getting down to it. Then they're like, we got to deplane, shut the whole thing down. Get the hell off this plane, you losers. You're not going to get home. You shouldn't have overslept. That's what they said over the loudspeaker. It was crazy. I get off and like immediately they call me up to the desk. They're like, you're going to miss your connection. I was like, okay. And they're like, here's another flight. It's 5 hours later. As I'm going over that. So now I'm getting back at like 9 p back to LA. As I'm getting this news from her, I get a little email on my phone. I say, oh, let me check my little email. It's the Comedy Store saying, congrats, you got picked for potluck tonight. Be there by 7. Buddy, I was in a dark place in Midway Airport.
I mean, that's when you start looking up, like, should I just fly private? What's it take to get a private flight?
I was like, I did get paid like $30 for that spot last night.
I mean, 30 plus the other spot's like $90. I could probably make this work to go hit an open mic.
Yeah, straight up. I was so upset because then it just like nothing was happening. Like, we're just not getting updates. So then you're sitting there I'm just looking at other flights, but kind of for no reason because everything was delayed because Chicago was -12 at the time.
Well, you're in the headspace of I got to make something happen here.
I need to figure this out.
Something's got to change in this moment right now. But that's the worst feeling because you got to do something, but there's truly nothing you can do outside of twiddle your thumbs.
I was straight up pacing and just walking around the airport.
I was about to say, that's when I start walking really fast around the airport.
Yeah.
And everyone is going, that guy looks upset.
And then I landed in Minneapolis. Finally, that got delayed. So I was in there for like 4.5 hours. And then I finally got back and I was just beside myself. And
yeah, that's pain. That's a painful day.
It's funny though, like then it was over. I woke up yesterday and I was like, all right, I'm fine.
That's fine.
But in the middle of it, you're like, this is the worst day of my life.
Well, you're also dealing with the PPD. You miss your flights. Then you start doing the butterfly effect thing. If I'd have just stayed up and got the Uber, then I would have gotten on potluck. And then I'm past at the Comedy Store. Now they're painting my name on the wall. Then it's Netflix time. And
it was a good time. I would have had a Netflix special by the time I woke up yesterday.
If you wouldn't have
a good chance
gotten drunk that one last time. So that's Chicago. It'll get you.
It'll really, really get you.
I had a little plane thing that I kind of thoroughly enjoyed. It was kind of in the midst of misery, but I enjoyed. I like, how like when we're all out in public, you'll have your little mask on. You got your little public Tom mask on. Do you know what I'm saying? You're polite. You're abiding by the laws of society.
Sure.
You let this person go. Sure, you can merge. Go ahead. It's not my time. Everyone's doing their little thing. I like it when the mask slips a little bit. I like it when you see what's brewing around on the inside. We getting out. So my flight was canceled coming here. I too woke up at 3 a.m. to a text from Delta saying roller skates, pal, not happening. Their exact words.
They said, "Hey Tim, did you think you were going to Chicago today?" You respond, "Yes, planning on it." And they said,
and then they just sent me a gif of a guy on roller skates, and they said, "This is me putting on my roller skates to the thought of you getting on this flight." So that was the 3 a.m. thing, and I'm going, that is just nothing I can do right now. I'm just going to fix it tomorrow.
And I got a full day.
And I'm obviously in the chat freaking the fuck out. And what am I supposed to do? People are telling me to take a 15-hour train. I was like, I'll put a gun in my mouth before I do that.
I was on the train board. I was on board with the train.
15,
train board.
Train board. 15 hours, Tom. I don't know. But anywho, so we get on this flight. Everything's going fine. American Airlines, they're doing their thing. Guy comes over the intercom, pilot, I believe. I don't think it was just a rando, but you know, we're like fourth in line to de-ice. Are you familiar with de-icing, Tom?
Dude, flying out of Chicago and New York, every plane gets emergency de-iced at the last minute, right after you board.
Right, and they're going, oh, yeah, we're going to leave right on time. They're like, ooh, fucks. We're 39th in line to de-ice. And I'm like, you didn't know this before my fat ass got on the plane?
It didn't just get cold. The cloud didn't just go behind, or the sun didn't just go behind a cloud. You know,
yeah, it just dropped from 78 to 9. All the snow fell. Oops, de-icing time. So I'm like, you know, whatever, you know, but they give you false hope. I think he knew what the score was. I think they know we're going to be sitting here for an hour 45, but we're going to tell them it in 15-minute increments.
Yes, agreed.
And I think that's fine. People start freaking out, and a lady did. That's what so for the first 3 updates, you know, he's like, folks, you know, we're just in line, just waiting to get clearance. We'll be out there and then we'll get on our way. Second update, something similar. Folks, blah, blah, blah. Now, by the 4th update, he was a little flabbergasted. He was kind of just like, I don't know.
I got nothing.
We're just kind of waiting. And
you
lady
just hear like a beer can crack in the cockpit.
But a lady pretty loudly went, oh, fuck me. Like 3 rows ahead of me. Oh, fuck me.
That would get a pop from me.
Oh, brother, I loved it so. But I'm looking around. Everybody has their headphones in.
Oh yeah.
But the little girl sitting next to her goes, Nana.
Yes.
And I mean, this is hitting for me so hard. I'm trying to nudge the guy next to me, but he's like Russian. He doesn't know what's going on. And the other guy's watching Avengers Endgame. Nobody's having fun with me.
Can I ask you? Why weren't you Timmy headphones?
Because we had been on. I got there an hour before. AirPods. I'm on the plane for an hour 15. I got the. It was time to just recharge the AirPods.
Oh shit.
So I just happened to catch it at the perfect time where I'm charging the PODs, and then I get this lady, me,
man,
and it was
somebody's grandma,
dude. It was such an old lady, fuck me too, because she like tried to whisper it, but like the anger kind of just pierced. Oh,
yeah, it was visceral. That was something else creeping out.
Mm-hmm.
Nana, incredible.
So that kind of made everything worth it for me. And then we get our little buns in the air, and they were like, hey folks, just because of the wait, this is what they did here. We're going to take a different route. Instead of 2 hours and 40 minutes, it's going to be 2 hours and 1 minute. I'm like, we'll do that.
We got to get to the bottom of this. If anyone has any knowledge about these things, about why our planes are lollygagging around in the air when there's a shortcut.
If you're a pilot or some sort of air traffic controller, if you work on the ground, thanks so much, but you don't know anything. But if you are a pilot or an air traffic controller, call in. Let us know what we're doing here in the sky.
Please let us know why that's even possible and why we're not taking the shortest route every time.
Yeah, they're like, hey, do you want to upgrade to first class? You're like, how about instead of that, let's take the shorter route. Can we do that
one? Yeah.
I'll just stay back here if we go faster.
I'll sit wherever you want.
If you just gun it.
Yes. God, I fucking hate that.
I know. Plane stink, Tom. That was our plane segment. Wait, do you have more plane?
I have one. This isn't a zero. This is just a hilarious character to see in the wild. Flying from LA to Chi-Town. That's Chi City. Chicago.
Chirac, some call it.
To the layman, yeah. I don't like pronouncing it. I say Chirac.
Oh shit, my bad. I say Shiganistan, and it doesn't make any sense at all.
Shakistan.
Israel.
That's great.
That's the difference between North and South Chicago. It's Israel versus Shalistine.
Oh my god. That is really fun. So boarding from LA to Chicago, and I've got like one jacket it's not super warm, but I'm like, you're inside most of the time. It's not that bad. I grew up in Minnesota. whatever. This lady in front of me boarding has two of the largest jackets I've ever seen, like comically big. It looked like if you were writing a sketch and you were like, all right, we need somebody to just be like overwhelmed by her jackets.
It's Joey Tribbiani when he puts on all of his clothes.
Exactly, but she's not wearing them.
Oh, she just has them in her hands.
She has them like kind of like, you know how you throw your jacket on top of your carry-on and then you roll it? It's like she was trying to do that, but either one of them alone would have been too much, and she had two of these bad boys.
Right. These are like Arctic Circle jackets.
She's trying to keep them on top of her suitcase, and she's like legit fist fighting with them as she's trying to get through the boarding line because they just keep falling off, and she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I have no empathy for this woman in this moment because I'm like, oh, you're from LA. You're like going to Chicago. You really overcorrected. You're a loser, whatever.
It's 6 degrees, lady. Calm down. No one dies in 6-degree weather.
It's it's her and me were like the last two to board in our group. And so it's kind of an empty jet bridge, and she's right in front of me. And she like kind of fell over getting one of them down the jet bridge because it got caught in the wheels of her carry-on.
Yes.
And she had tried to she was feeling the pressure of me being behind her, so she was trying to keep moving while getting it out of the wheel. And I was like crying, laughing, dude. Because
you're also humming the Jaws anthem right behind her. I have no idea why she felt this weird pressure.
Oh God, and it was just me and her, and it was so funny. And then she gets on the plane and has to try to stuff them in the overhead compartment. And the flight attendant's going, ma'am, jackets don't go up there. And I wanted to be like, hey, maybe jackets go up there for this flight though.
Maybe just because
if she has to put these,
she's just covered in it. Yeah.
She's got two down comforters.
Like, well, this is I kind of have no sympathy for this woman because I too ran into this conundrum while packing because I knew, it was 50 something in New York, but when I get off, it was literally 2 when I got here. Degrees, Tom.
It's 2 of them.
So the plan is, I just had to forego my carry-on. Now I'm Timmy checking bags.
But really rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, that one is pretty smooth. And
Timmy bag check.
Timmy BC. Damn it. It's right there for the taking. And but I decided you got to go a bigger bag, and then you pack everything, and then you take your big jacket and you put that in last. So then you get your jacket or you get your bag out of the carousel, pop it open. Now it's jacket time.
Yes, I like this.
This is what you're supposed. You don't carry on 2 down comforters.
2 of them, dude. I mean, so huge. One of them had to be for someone else because you couldn't put both of them on.
But what is this person doing in Chicago with no jacket? Hey, can you bring me my jacket from LA?
I usually keep it in LA where it's colder.
I didn't check the weather here. It's January in Chicago. I thought it would be kind of nice. I saw a guy on Belmont sunbathing.
Oh, here's a theory. We boarded with Sky Priority. I bet she was traveling with someone who was in a further cabin behind where like the overheads would be full.
Oh, but she had the jackets too early, right?
I don't know.
She had the jackets the whole time
in the boarding line.
Oh, in the boarding line. But she would have boarded first, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like we were the last 2 in Sky Priority. So like 80% of the plane is still in the boarding area or still in the gate area.
So she's thinking, I'll get in early. Well, there'll still be room in the overhead bin. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, and they won't give me a hard time because I think she was also like she was up in Comfort Plus. So it's like maybe a little more room up there. She was maybe doing a favor to a friend, in which case I like her more, but also still a huge miss because you saw the size of these jacks.
It's an enormous miss. And hey, look, I'm down for like the theory of this idea, but once you put your eyeballs on these jackets, you got to call an audible here.
Sorry, you're on your own, sister.
Sorry, man. This sucks. That's the biggest jacket I've ever seen. No.
And I already have this small tent that I'm carrying around. So.
Yeah. Sorry, I already brought my blow up bed and I didn't want to check that. So
It literally could have been an air mattress.
like, what are we doing? It's just, folks, you just tuck it in. I love that. I just jacket on. Because I saw these other rubes. A guy's walking around 2 degrees because you have to go to the Uber place. He's got short sleeves on. I'm like, you didn't think at all about what's happening.
That's the same thing as shorts guy. He goes, it'll be fine.
No, he looked absolutely miserable. To his credit, he was not trying to play it off. My boy was in a lot of pain. And he was kind of looking around at everybody else that has jackets like, I don't know. He was doing the thing like, I fucked up really badly.
Yeah, no, I know. I know what this looks like.
This is so dumb.
And you're
so
right.
dumb.
Yeah, I'm not cocky about it.
Poor bastard. Absolute poor bastard. Tom, I know you weren't very into, I could tell by your face last time when I was talking about my on-time grief with people not being on time. And one of the biggest culprits I had this conversation with.
Really pointed.
No, it was not pointed at you. It was actually a different friend of ours. And we made some plans and I said, all right, we're going to be there at 8. And he, yeah. And I said, no. We were texting. I called.
Whoa, you never call. I know. Calls.
I'm sick of this, Tom.
You've never once answered my call.
I'm sick. And I said, it's 8 o'clock. Yeah, we're going to be there at 8 o'clock. And he said, yeah. And I said, no. 8 o'clock is the time that we're arriving at this place, correct? And he said, yeah. And I said, okay, now, if you see something arising, give me an hour heads up.
This isn't a 7:55, going to be there in 20.
Oops, I'll be there in 25. Don't tell me the train's being weird. Don't say Uber's taking a while. We're not doing this anymore. It's 8 o'clock.
Okay, I got to cross those off my list.
And you know what? Everyone showed up on time, and we had a lovely evening, Tom.
Wow, look at you setting some boundaries. Not boundaries.
Standards?
Standards, maybe? Just communicating clearly with close personal friends of ours? That's hard.
I just can't do it anymore. And I don't know if I mentioned this to you last time when we first moved here. Stop me if I said this last time. When we first moved here, we were sitting in Clomclorm. Terrible name for a restaurant.
That's a real...
That's a Thai restaurant.
It sounded like you wanted to name something, but you were like, I'm not going to say the name, but it's a
Jobin feel is what it is.
See you later, Jobin.
It's giving Jobin. And we're sitting there, and we'd been here for like 2 or 3 months, and a girl sitting at the table next to us alone. Guy shows up about 30 minutes later, and she gave him that talk.
Whoa.
Did I tell you this? She was going, look,
no,
I like you. We're friends, but we cannot be friends anymore if you're always going to be at least 30 minutes late. Like, we just can't hang out. We can hang out in other settings, but like, we're not going to set up any time anymore to actually meet for lunch or meet for anything if it's just you and I, because you are always late. And I was like, this chick is diabolical. 2 years later, I'm on the horn like 8 o'clock is the time, or you can write this friendship off.
Man, New York has really cracked you.
I mean, Tom, I'm
this is good.
103 years old. I'm running out of time as it is. I don't need to waste it sitting at Clomclorm.
Clomclorm.
A truly just a horrific name.
KLOM. KLORM.
Clomclorm. Yeah.
Clomclorm? What? Is this a German beer hall?
It has to be like some warrior. Like, it has to be something big. There's no way they were just like
Clomclorm.
Clomclorm.
Known for his famous. I mean, what? It's Thai.
Yeah. Jack Talk Thai. Yeah, it's straight up Clomclorm.
Wow, that is insane. Clomclorm.
Man, that just is so unappetizing. Oh, we went to this great place the other night. What was it called? Ooh, Clomclorm.
It just feels gross. That's I think that's growth, dude. I think that's good, and you should do that with me, and I will probably respond violently and say you don't trust me. This is about something else.
No. It's certainly no. It will not be violent. It will be heady, and it'll come out in small little ways.
That's what I mean by violent.
And oh yeah, your violence is
That's
more. Your violence is more of death by 1,000 cuts.
It's guerrilla warfare, dude.
Yeah,
You're not gonna see it coming. I'm outnumbered and outmanned, and I'm gonna win.
after an interaction with Tom, I'm like, how am I bleeding so much? There's like blood everywhere.
Just that your Achilles is just ripped, just slashed.
Well, no, you'll cut it just enough to where it'll rip 3 days later, and I'll think it's my fault.
I can say, oh, you're getting old.
That's kind of what happens when you don't buy new running shoes, Tim. Maybe you should start taking care of yourself.
If you need a ride to the hospital, I'll be there in about 3 hours.
Oh my God!
I have a guy that it's another airport character. I was really spending some time. I was in airports for 14 hours yesterday.
Do we want to go my story and then go back to airport so it's not that big of an airport chunk?
Yeah, let's.
But I guess we did just hit Clomclorm.
No, yeah, you go. I go.
I got a little Nightmare Road gig for you, Tom.
Okay, I love some road dog war stories.
I mean, out in Connecticut, 3-hour drive with a guy I never met. Turned out to be a really lovely human being. Enjoyed the time. We didn't put a podcast on. We didn't put music on. We talked for 3 hours the whole way
music,
up there.
Silent. Little background music?
Zilch, none. Just chatting. Hitting the chat button.
That's weird.
Lovely human being. Actually, really enjoyed meeting him. But get to this gig. Ay caramba. I mean, the venue's absolute poo. And then, so, you know when you look out at the audience and you go, well, this isn't necessarily for me.
Sure.
Or I'm not necessarily for them, Tom.
Yeah. Yes. I think
a
lot.
And so I'm up there and I've been up there for like 10 minutes and it's like surprisingly going pretty well. I'm like kind of having a fun time. I'm hitting the riff button a little bit. I'm going, okay, not bad. Everything's going to be fine. Now they have a spotlight in the back. They got one big spotlight. And out of nowhere, someone just decides, hey, what if we crank this thing from 4 to 10? I'm literally baking in this thing. Like because I kept thinking I'm 10 minutes in. I thought for sure somebody's going to recognize the mistake and turn it down. Audience members are kind of going like, what the fuck? They start to like look around and what has happened? Like his skin is like kind of melting off of his face like a little bit.
You're like getting sunburnt somehow.
And I'm just kind of like I'm squinting and I'm finally like, what is happening with the light? What are we doing, folks? So a guy gets up out of the front row and goes all the way around to the back and like talks to somebody. So now they're trying to adjust it. Light breaks, just boom, like falls to the. You know how it's like in a. You know how it like
like the metal casing
and up. Yeah. And it just falls all the way down. So it's like. And now the spotlight that was lighting me up is now lighting up like my shins and shoes. I'm like,
put a spot on his dinky.
Yeah, pretty good. So like I'm able to like get some laughs out of that shit. They finally get it like back up. I guess one of the employees is just kind of holding it. And they got it to stick, but all I can do is like look at this fucking thing. Like, when you're having like an out of body experience, like words are coming out, but you're not living in your own actual human flesh.
Yeah, because in your head, you're just going over what's happening with this life.
I'm going, why did I even take this gig? It's not even that much money. I'm not even having
hours
fun.
Away. Yeah.
What the hell am I doing? So they finally get it to stick, and I'm like, all right, now I'm back to it. Now, an audience member gets up and then just turns the light off.
What?
I'm in the dark.
I've never seen audience members interact with the AV.
They really took like some sort of ownership over this light. I don't know if they like crowdsourced this light and everybody felt like they were like had a little part ownership and it's like a co-op light or something. But it just turns it off. Now I'm in the kind of just in the pitch black. Just up there, and I'm going.
Did you ask what happened?
Of course, I mean, like I kind of lost it for a second. What the fuck are we doing with the light? Can we stop it, please? And everybody turns and looks at this one woman, and she's like, "What? I thought it was too bright." I was like, "No, it was too bright 12 minutes ago. It's been fine. You turned it off."
Also, yeah, too bright. The solution isn't no spotlight.
No spotlight. What if there was just a shadowy figure on stage?
But we listened to his words really
Like,
intently.
and so finally they get it back, and I have like 5 minutes left when they get the light back. This is probably a 15-minute nonsense circle
Saga.
that I'm going through.
Like, oh God!
And then
how
I-
much
you
were
ju-
you supposed to do?
I did 35.
Okay,
So this was from 10 to 25.
perfect. right as you're trying to get into it.
And have you? Have you ever had things go so poorly on
Does
stage?
this ever happen to you?
This is ever- that'll never not make me laugh.
No,
But where it's like it feels so disingenuous to tell a joke.
yeah, because after the spot, like even after the, you're like, all right, I get a riff here, but I'd like
Yeah.
to get back to jokes, but like you're gonna sniff this out.
And then something else goes wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like,
The lady
I'm
turning
just-
it off, like what? Like the light gets settled, and you're like, well, I was just like so angry at this
Yeah.
lady. Now I have to go back to being a goofball.
yeah. Let me tell you about the Minneapolis airport, folks.
Yeah, that is.
You're gonna love
really
this
hard.
one. So I don't know if I masked my anger very well because I got several apologies after. I
From
mean, I
audience
think
members or from the people running it.
both. And I mean, I pretty much sprinted out of the building after my set. I was fully done with it. But, hey, I don't even know if this needs to be said. But, folks, don't mess with the AV.
No, you don't need to get involved.
Don't
To
Don't
be
touch
fair,
the light.
The people running it might also be idiots.
And but that's fine.
They don't need another idiot involved because also like if they do a bad job, it's whatever. They did a bad job. They can get yelled at by whoever is
Completely
running the
okay.
place. But if you get involved as an audience member and you fuck it up, now like you're the worst person in the room.
Yeah, and it doesn't even qualify as like you doing a bad job. It's, hey, what are you doing?
It's why? Yeah, it's out of your realm. You're off your ass right now.
What are you doing?
It'd be
Like,
me going up and saying, "Hey, do you mind if I check out the fuel line, pilot? Why don't I take a look at it?"
You're like, no. I have no experience, but I would like to take a look.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to ask permission. I'm going to go ahead and unplug the fuel line.
I mean, I just couldn't believe it. But then me and the guy that brought me there, we did have a gay old time on the ride home, laughing and riffing and everything.
Yeah, I mean
Like,
that's kind of endless riffs.
it was just one of those things. And then you start getting into the realm of like, well, unfortunately, that is supposed to happen sometimes. You are supposed to have hellish
Hell,
experiences on the
Yes.
road where you question your entire existence
Yep.
and all of these things. So yes, I had one, and that just kind of goes with the territory, unfortunately, Tomas.
Yeah. No, it does. It does, and it's in that moment you're like, why did I do this? Why did I take this gig? And then it's like by today you're like, all right, that's a pretty good story.
That's not
I don't
bad.
regret doing it. It goes back to my theory. Almost every time you leave the house, you don't regret it.
Well, we've talked about this ad nauseum, and I have my holes to poke in it, but I will say, at large, I'm on board with that theory.
Yeah. I like it.
All right, back to planes.
All right, this is a Delta Lounge character that I found.
Here we go.
I don't know if it's a 0. I would love your input because it's not. I don't think there's bad intent, but we're sitting at. I'll throw this out there. I'm leaning towards loser, not 0.
Okay, that is a big
That is
difference.
different. So we're sitting at everyone's delayed in Minneapolis, so I'm sitting there. Eating some spaghetti and meatballs. The Minneapolis Delta Lounge, they really leaned into like the Midwest. It was like they had both mac and cheese and spaghetti and meatballs.
Jesus Christ, just a full Midwest wedding.
It was awesome. Like little sliders too. It was so funny. I was like, this is legitimately not in LA. It's like rice and chicken. But I sit down and the bartender is like somewhat attractive, like
Mhm.
probably 40-year-old lady. And this guy, a couple chairs down from me, he's like kind of like, he's like leaning over like the drink making area and just kind of like watching all of it.
How old is this guy?
He's probably mid-40s.
Okay. Kept it together or looks like shit?
No, it doesn't look great. He looks
Okay.
divorced or like
Weathered.
weathered. Yeah, it's no offense if you're divorced, you might look great. He just looked like he kind of looked like if you had to cast a divorced dad in a commercial.
Right. He got divorced, but it was his fault.
Oh, for sure. Like he was wearing
Yeah.
a flannel, like pretty loose old jeans.
Okay. Not
Um,
great.
And he's sitting down and he goes, he's trying to figure out how to talk to this bartender. I can just tell. And somebody orders an
It's
old
like he's like looking at her too much, where it's like you already have your drink,
exactly like
so you're like you have something else cooking in your little
your
brain.
interaction with her should have been done until you order your next drink.
Yes.
But he's kind of hanging around, and I just kind of clock
his
him.
neck's like a little too long.
Yes,
like he's a little
dude.
too eager. Yeah,
And
yeah.
he's not like looking at his phone. He doesn't have headphones in. He doesn't have a book.
Mhm.
So he's just
waiting for her to
sitting
come
there.
back by. Yeah.
Yeah. And eventually he just goes, so.
Oh, I hate it already.
He goes, so. And I admit my head whips around. He goes,
You're like,
so.
ooh, this is gonna suck.
Yeah, I take my phone out, start recording. So what is in an old fashioned?
Oh. oh, Tom. Man, I thought it was gonna be way more normal than that.
No, dude, I almost spit my drink. I mean, I was like instantly started writing stuff down on my computer.
Also, I mean, a 40-year-old man wearing a flannel in the Delta Lounge. My boy's had a couple of old fashions.
Yeah, although in Minnesota, you'll have some of the worst old fashions you've ever seen. Same with
That is
Wisconsin.
a fact. That is
if
a
you get to
fact.
small town Minnesota, it's just like, well, we got some cherries and a bunch of crushed ice, and then this like gasoline rye whiskey.
Wait, why do they do that? And they're like, do you want it to be the sweetest drink you've ever had in your life?
That's the Wisconsin old fashioned. They put Sprite and simple syrup.
Oh, I mean, it's a horrible beverage.
Sprite and simple syrup. They're just like it is.
Well,
you already have diabetes.
Well, the first time it was offered to me there, I thought it was just like their like good little take on it. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll have a Wisconsin one.
I was
And
sitting
I'm
right next
sipping
to
it.
you.
Oh, at
Comedy on State.
oh, I thought I had it at the Laughing Tap.
No, it was Comedy on State. They kind of convinced us to do it.
And it was
we were
like,
oh, hell yeah. And it was disgusting.
Oh, this is horrible.
It
This is
tasted
a
like
horrible beverage.
whiskey and squirt.
Yeah, and they hand it to you, and it's like bright pink. It
Also,
looks like
it tasted like that because
ooze.
that's what's in it. But yeah, and they crush a bunch of cherries in the bottom.
No, it's whoever invented that should be run out of town. Anyway, okay,
Anyways,
so your
this
boy,
guy,
your boy.
he says that, and she, to her credit, I mean, she's a professional. You know, he's probably tipping her. She's like, well, it's bourbon, and then some bitters,
good
and
for
then
her.
a little simple syrup, and a cherry. But you can, have it a couple different ways. And he's like, God, that's I was always curious about that. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Also, I love that he's like, there's literally no other way for me to find out this information other than tracking down a hot bartender. How on earth could I have figured this out?
I mean, just it's so funny to see like in the wild. That's why I was like, all right, this guy's either like new, like maybe he's like newly single and like has no idea how to talk to women, because that's how it came off. It was just like he's like, man, I would love to say something to her, and I just have zilch.
He's been out of the game for 15 years.
Yeah,
I mean, that's me. If Lizzie wises up and dumps my ass, that's me out there in the
That's you.
wild.
Hitting him with a. So what is in a vodka soda?
So is it vodka first or is it soda? Or does that even matter? Honestly,
What kind of soda too?
and do you do lime or lemon?
I'm Tim.
Oh God, I am in so much trouble. I can't imagine what I would be like on the single market. It would be you. I think you would just want to strap a GoPro to me the entire time.
Well, yeah, I've seen. I saw a woman try to hit on you in the wild once, and you thought she was robbing you. So I told that story this weekend because it happened at Chicago Old Town Ale House. And yeah,
Have we told that one on here? I believe we have.
I bet we have, but just a refresher, it's a fun story.
I just had no gauge. That's not where my brain goes anymore, Tom.
Yeah. If you guys don't remember this is we're at Old Town Ale House. Some girls from the show at Zany's were like hanging around. There was a bunch of us, and these girls were kind of hanging around there, running around. Uh-oh. No, okay, we had a little pause there.
Bit of a snafu. So
We're at Old Town Ale House, and wait, can you still hear me?
Yep.
Oh, beautiful. And some girls from the show are hanging out. There's a bunch of us there. And then it's a cash only bar. Tim's getting cash out of the ATM. ATM's broken.
Classic.
Now these girls are in the same boat, and they go, "We're gonna go to Walgreens. You want to come with? It's down the street. You can get cash out of the ATM there. You go with." And then I get a text like 5 minutes later. It's like these girls are up to something. And I was like, what? And then they come back and they're like, hey, we don't know where your friend went. And then I get another text from you. I'm pretty sure they were trying to rob me. And they were just trying to hit on you.
Well, I gave you the recap. You're like, wait. What? And
Give
I'm like,
me
yeah.
the rundown right now.
I was like, this girl just like kept like standing really close to me and like touching my shoulder and stuff and like kind of like sidling up a lot when I was at the ATM. So in my head, I'm like, she's trying to see my fucking PIN number. They probably got some like, they got some. I did. I like fully like kind of bowed her out. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing? In my head, I'm like, oh, they got some like goons outside. And they're like, they're going to be like, yeah, we saw your PIN. Now give us your card. So I'm like standing there and like, so she couldn't see me. I called an Uber really quickly. And so like the Uber comes out. I pretend like I was having trouble with the ATM until the Uber was outside. Then I was like, oh, yeah, we're good. And we all walk outside. And I just beeline it right to the Uber, jump in and bail. And that's when I texted you. I was like, pretty sure they were trying to rob me, dude.
She goes, yeah, he ran away.
Dude, I was in that Uber like, what? Dodge that bullet.
I think you're Jason Bourne.
Like, Chicago crime has gotten weird.
Yeah, they're running a huge scheme.
Yeah,
but the girls going to entire comedy shows just trying to get $50 out of
just
Jim.
trying. She's like, I know he at least got paid 100. Like, I know that for a fact. I mean, that's a tough look, but that's me in the bar. I am that guy. So what's in an old fashioned? I don't know what to say to you.
What is in an old fashioned? Like he said it like it was it had been years of controversy and debate. What right. is in it? Like I know there's myths and stuff, but like
or that conversation is like kind of in the zeitgeist. Nobody can crack the case of what really is an old fashioned.
Yeah.
God bless him. So I mean, she just described it to him, and then he went, "Oh,
yeah." She was very sweet, honestly. And then he kind of meandered through the conversation again, for a little bit, and then I left. But it was amazing. It was truly, truly fun to watch.
What are the odds that he did get laid by that woman?
Less than 0. I mean, like not even. She didn't view him as
a sexual
being at all. Yeah.
Right.
She said, I've seen 10,000 of you in my day. And I know what to say to just not let you be annoying, but also not piss you off.
I love that she's like, I know exactly what to say. And it's just the ingredients to an old fashioned.
Ingredients. Yeah. But it was like, maybe if she's colder, he's like, hey, you should smile more or something,
She's like, oh, well, first you have to take this cherry and tie a knot with it with your tongue. And he's like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. He thought he was gonna like pour some sugar on me. He was gonna start playing in the background. Her hair starts blowing back.
First you take a little of this whiskey and you dump it on your tits. And he's like, oh, hell yes.
I knew I was gonna say the right thing.
He's going bartender, old fashioned. Okay.
Well, I just whipped up a little old fashioned line myself.
I mean, I do kind of feel for the guy because he probably got with his wife when they were 20, and you really didn't even have to be that charming back in the day. You were just both in the same bar.
You just went to the same high school.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't know. He like was second string, and I don't know. I was lonely, so we just got together. He's never really had to flex the rizz muscle, I believe the kids are saying these days.
They are saying that, and he had 0 rizz is what they would say. I think that would be the diagnosis. And I felt bad, but also, boy, was I giggling about it.
I know. That's a fun one. That's a very and that's another one you love to see because that guy just told you so much about his life. You love to see who people actually are. That's a lonely man, Tom.
That is a lonely, lonely guy. What is in an old fashioned?
What is in there?
I don't know what was a bigger misstep, that or the typo I sent you the other day that really made us both laugh. Remember this one?
Oh, Tom, I think about it twice a day, brother.
I was trying to bring. I didn't say this on the pod yet, right?
No, we forgot it last time. We were bummed. So yeah, this is perfect. Let's close on this.
Okay, we're closing. I'm gonna get out of here on this. Before we do that, can you guys give it up for your wait staff?
Working hard for you all night. Make sure you tip them.
I always say that, and then I look around. I'm like, damn, most people have already signed their checks, so that's kind of useless. But
if you have any cash, just take it out of your wallet, please. I said this way too late.
Like to say to the roommates-in-law writers, because Joe Coy threw his writers under the bus at the Golden Globes, and I just want to say a lot of people have been asking us about it. If
we would never,
when Tim and Tom get tapped to host the Golden Globes, will we throw our writers under the bus? And we would never.
The
writing staff, roommates-in-law, is they're two of the most brilliant people I know.
I've never seen somebody consistently come up with hot and delicious riffs quite like these two.
Exactly. So I would never ever do that. I wanted to say that. Now,
Ben, did you see John Mulaney host a different award show?
Oh yeah.
It was truly just a different caliber of
He's amazing.
Everything. It was anyway.
It's a perfect level of self-deprecation, and he's more famous than Joe Coy.
Well, he's also throwing shots that are pretty appropriate.
Yes. Yeah.
And also, Joe Coy was doing like club comedy, but we don't have to get into that.
It doesn't matter. So we'll close on this. All right. So I texted Tim, here's a new thing that makes me cry. I didn't say this on the pod.
I don't believe so.
Okay. I texted Tim. I said, here's a new thing that makes me feel emotional is when I'm watching like a basketball game or like a professional sports game and two players from opposing teams like kind of mess with each other. Like I was watching this basketball game and like somebody dunked on somebody but then like they both fell over and one of the dudes like flexed at the other dude and then he like flexed back and then he like squeezed his muscles and they were like having a laugh. You
sent the a little clip of it. You sent a little video.
Yeah. Yes.
And you said here's a new thing that makes me emotional.
Yeah.
Are you to keep going? Go ahead.
And because it's like, oh, they're just they're having a good time.
Let me say it from my perspective, because I'm the one that got it and read it.
Oh yeah.
And thought, oh
yeah. So I sent a clip of this.
That's not where I thought this was going.
And I said, here's something that makes me emotional. And I intended to type 2 grown men having fun.
And the typo came through as no. You said just a couple of brown guys having fun.
Brown men having fun.
Because
I was going to say just a couple of grown men having fun, but it came through as just a couple of brown men having fun.
And I was like, I got it. And I'm like, okay. Because it's not a typo where you're going, oh, obvious typo.
It's like,
I was like, yeah, I mean,
feels
I guess
off.
It's like, yeah, MLK Day's coming up. But like, they're professional athletes. I think they're living a good life. Couple of brown guys having fun. I'm like, but why brown guys? Why is that hitting you so hard? And then I'm going, he describing them as brown guys.
It was 2 black NBA players, and I said a couple brown men having fun.
And it sent me down. I hit like 7 different layers of like, what could he possibly be meaning?
All in like
this?
20 seconds.
Yeah, your brain
pretty immediately. Like, yeah.
Well, your brain can have 7,000 thoughts in like a second. It just was like brown guy, but why? But then he should. But why are you calling them brown guys? And why is that making you cry? And then the next text is all caps: grown men having fun.
I was like dying because it's so patronizing and so like I'm like they've just had it really hard, but they made it to the league and now
and look at these brown men having a brown men. It felt more racist than colored.
Way more.
Brown men.
It also they're just so just so patronizing. Like they're finally having fun, And
I'm also like, these are 6'10" world-class athletes. Like they don't need your little whatever this is. They don't need.
Good.
You're just in that black-owned coffee shop, like, boy, I just love seeing some brown business owners. This just feels so good. Couple of brown business owners.
I love seeing a brown barista having a, pretty stressful Monday morning. Honestly.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's easily the best typo I've ever received for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it was incredible. It made me laugh for about an hour.
I showed it to Lizzie, but I put my thumb over the correction of it.
Sure.
I said, look what Tom sent. And she just, you can see her because I just wanted to watch her face as she went through the text. And she's going, and she goes, oh.
It would have been amazing if she was like, yeah, I agree, honestly.
She's like, you know what? It does feel good. I'm like, oh no, he meant grown. She's like, she's like, I'm glad Tom finally changed his mind on that. Usually he's had a pretty tough time watching brown guys have fun.
It used to make me angry. Now it makes me cry.
Therapy's getting there, Tom.
All
right. Where are you going to be at, Tomas?
San Diego this weekend. A whale's vagina.
There we go.
That's from Anchorman. I'm going to be in San Diego this weekend and then all over California for this month. Fargo. I know we have some people up there. Fargo, February 9th and 10th. Need to get some folks out to those shows.
Need to get some folks. I'm pretty sure they pack that room out pretty steadily.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But
yeah, that'll hit.
If you're in the North Dakota or northern Minnesota area, Fargo, February 9th and 10th.
Hey, if you're not too far away, you should go, folks. Let's close it on that one, right?
There we Fargo.
Not bad, right, Tom?
That's pretty good, honestly.
Oh, let's see. My big fat ass. I'm in Chicago. This comes out tomorrow. I'll be at Zany's in Chicago all freaking weekend.
Hell yeah. It is the freaking weekend.
Trying to have a little fun, dude. Well, that's an R. Kelly quote, so maybe not. That's a brown guy we don't want to see having fun.
God damn it. I was just about to say one of my favorite grown men.
All right, come see a show. Tell your friends about the pod. Toss us a like. Toss us a share. We love you.
We love you guys.
He married my sister. Now we're living together.